evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 76 of the 72 review. There's three of us on tonight, regular faces, you'll recognise us. We will start below me with Ian. It says that you're not clicking yet. We will get onto Rotherham shortly, but let the viewers know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a 62-year-old Rotherham United season ticket holder. And when we're away, I go all over the country vlogging for my own YouTube channel, who I hope put my links on in the description.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
And then next to me, we have got Jake, who's been off for a couple of weeks with the family. So welcome back. It's great to have you back. And we're going to be talking Wednesday.
It's good to be back. I need the therapy session. It's been a weird one. I'm in that period where my other half goes back to work soon, so I'm gonna have full-on boy duty and looking after him, and he's a little terrorist. But I'm Punk Chef 41. I do all things Sheffield Wednesday. I also help co-host the Talking Wednesday podcast, and I literally cover everything Wednesday. During the transfer window, these lads were telling me to slow down and have a break. I had a break during the international week. It felt weird. I didn't like it. This is addictive. Do not cover your clubs.
I agree. Sometimes it's nice to cover the club, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
As always, get your comments in the chat, and it does drive the conversation quite a bit. We had a focus on League One and League Two last week, so we'll probably fly through those to begin with and have a bit more of a focus on the Championship. But we have got some comments that have come in. Lucy, she was on the ball this morning, 7:41, annoyed that Donny got beat Thursday night. I think we'll start there, get the bad news out of the way. She asked, what stand I sit in? I sit in the West. And she asks, do I agree that Donny should have won? So we will get on to that one shortly. We've got Neil. Good evening, Neil. Nice to see you. ATID, no flights home from Dublin this week, but ATID will be very, very happy.
Ready coming.
We've got Brad, Huddersfield Town FC. Hi, guys. We're back to our best. Yeah, we'll touch on Huddersfield shortly as well. And we've got Josh, who's looking very happy. ATID said, called it typical Argyle to lose to Wednesday, Stoke, and then beat runaway league leaders. And then we've got Finley in the chat as well.
Hey, Finley.
Good evening.
Hiya, Finley.
Lovely stuff. So let's get this up and running, and we will start on the first game of the weekend, which was this EFL match day was Harrogate Town against Doncaster Rovers, and yeah, we've never beaten
them. Thursday night games still feel weird.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of it. Went in with a fair bit of confidence on this one. We've been playing really well. Harrogate and not scored at home, and yeah, it's typical League Two football, isn't it, or EFL football, where you expect something to happen and the total opposite happens. But I think credit to Harrogate, their defending was superb in and around the box all night. They kept us at arm's length. They limited us to kind of long range shots and half chances, and I was disappointed by the Rovers performance, and it was just lacking any sort of, I don't know, just in the final third, any sort of quality to really unlock them. And yeah, we got hit twice.
I think the word I'd use is cohesion. You've had a lot of cohesion over the last couple of weeks where everything had worked and everything that you'd done paid off. It's like they knew it was a Thursday night game and they weren't used to preparing for it.
Yeah.
It did feel that way.
Yeah. It just didn't click on the night, did it? And you've seen us play in, and we've played free-flowing football a lot this season. We've looked really, really threatening going forward, and Thursday night we were just a shadow of ourselves.
I watched the game, and to be honest, Harrogate did a job on you. I mean, they played like the away side, right? They were compact, they were good in defence, they fought for every ball, and they broke on you with pace.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Rovers were expecting. The first goal, I thought it was an exceptionally good header. I mean, a lot of people blame Tom Anderson, but it was a really carefully directed flick header straight beyond the keeper's reach into the net.
Yeah, I mean, social
think
media was full of Tom Anderson too slow, get out of the team and stuff. I think for me, you could single out every single player and
Yeah.
and analyze their game and see things that they did wrong. Sterry
And
should
I
have stopped.
think
There were
the second goal, somebody should have got a challenge in, even brought him down. Even brought him down. They could have brought him down. All right, they were risking a card.
yeah.
But that was just sloppy, poor defending. There should have been
Even
a
in that
challenge.
goal though, Ian, I think Bailey could have been a bit stronger. I think he's folded a little bit too easy. But then again, social media straight away on Anderson being too slow. I think there's other players on the pitch that it was just a bad day at the office for Donny, really. But
yeah, I mean, you can't expect to go through a 46-game season and play your best every week. It's not going to happen.
no.
Yeah.
Neil said what is about Donny and being favourites. Yeah, it happened when we were 2-0 up against Crewe in the playoffs, and it seemed like we thought the game was already won. Molyneux killed him on EFL Fantasy again. ATID Thursday night League Two football, utter woke madness. Yeah, it's I don't think it'll have got
money
viewing figures for some strange reason.
It's all money.
Awful game of football, especially the second half. Yeah, it was. But you look at the stats. I mean, we've had 70% of the ball, but we didn't do enough with it. I know we've had 21 shots, but 5 of those on target. I think
you know
but a lot of them were just catching practice with keeper, weren't they?
Yeah,
you know what the stupid thing is with this one is though, don't you, lads? It's a smash and grab at home for them.
Yeah.
If you actually look at it, you always think of the smash and grab with the away team going, getting a result, picking off 3 points, getting out of dodge. You'd been done at home by a team who just knows how to soak pressure up, get you when they're on the counter, and just move. And the thing is, that'll annoy McCann more because that's what he saw when you first started last season. And he'll go back and go, why have we got old ways again? And I don't think it's a case of old ways. I think it's a case of it ain't a normal night of football.
No.
Generally, I think it's just a day where you're used to training to Friday, playing Saturday, or you're used to training Sunday, Monday for Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Throwing Thursday, which is probably normally your rest day, and you train Friday, probably just threw the lads.
Yeah, but it's the same for both teams, though, that isn't it?
Yeah.
I think down at that level, all teams kind of have the same sort of structure and schedule. But yeah, excuses to.
I mean, if there's an upside,
simply weren't good enough and didn't test the keeper enough.
If there's an upside to that, that means it's going to be like nearly a week and a half until Rovers play again. So there's a lot of time to work on the training.
Yeah, I think, like you say, there's a lot of time to digest it and kind of analyse where it went wrong, and hopefully put it right at MK Dons next weekend. But yeah, bad start to the weekend for Donny. We have a Port Vale fan in the chat, so I think that's probably a good place to shoot over to the next spot. Port Vale 1, Chesterfield 0. It's Carl Richardson in the chat. He says, "Hi lads, happy Vale fan. Now we're clicking. Byers is class and Tolage."
Byers is a cheat code in League 2. He was a cheat code in League 1. In League 2, he's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the squad they've got at Vale Park there, it should be enough to get them at least in the top 7.
I'm sorry, when I heard he was signed for Port Vale in League 2, I was like, Jesus Christ. That's just insane. But I think Vale have got that thing where they can let Darren do what Darren does best, which is build a quad.
Yeah.
And not go knee-jerk. I've got a mate who's a Vale fan, so when he said Darren had a 5-year contract, he went, "Are they mad?" Like that was his word. But I think they understand needing to build something, and I think if you'll give Darren the right tool, we've seen it, you've seen it. Wherever he's been, if you allow him to build, steady progress each season.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to kind of judge with Darren Moore at Donny, because I don't think he had the budget to really build his own team. He was doing a lot of loans and things, and it wasn't really long-term solutions, but he got a tune out of the players. ATID's come in, flashback from with the same scoreline when Donny played Harrogate at home a few years ago. I will link that video in the chat if you or in the description if you want to have a look at it. I wasn't very happy. So yeah, good result for Port Vale, and like Carl said, it's just starting to click.
You weren't too impressed with Vale when Donny beat them, were you? You thought that they were pretty poor.
Yeah, they did a bit of a rough patch. I think they've just been beaten by Barrow 4-0.
Since then, they've won at Crewe and beat Chesterfield. So it's coming together gradually and climbing the table well.
It is indeed. Another fan in the chat, Notts County. We've got Dale Pickett. Bromley, unfortunate, really. I mean, there's
2-0 up in 6 minutes.
Yeah, 2-0 up and County fight back. Dale has said, "Hi guys, it was the Jones and Crowley show at Bromley yesterday. Controlled the game for 85 minutes. Big game for us on Saturday. Notts versus Gillingham at Meadow Lane. That is a very, very big game. And it frustrates me that Jones and Cowley had such a good game because I had them in my EFL team last week. Took them out this week. I've had an absolute mare. I think Neil's done the same. I had Jones and Crowley last week in my fantasy team. They both don't play. Drop them both. Jones scores 2, Crowley 1. Yeah, same Neil. Getting the same pain with the EFL fantasy, which we'll have a look at later. But Bromley started pretty well, haven't they? They're up in and around the mix. But County, they've got quality. They should be in and around that top 3.
They should be up there, shouldn't they, with the squad they've got? Yeah. And all the missing players all scored.
Yeah. John said, "Good afternoon. Sorry I'm a bit late. Don't worry about it. Although Notts didn't have the best start at Bromley, they certainly made up for it. I have a lot of hope for this season. I think that hope isn't misplaced.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement that Notts County will have a very good season. Yeah.
The thing is, they did the same last season, didn't they? And then they sort of like tailed off into mid-table obscurity.
Yeah, that's because they lost the manager halfway through, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think if they kept him all the way through the season, they probably would have done a Stockport.
Yeah, probably. We've got Craig in the chat as well. Fantastic win for Gills, down to 10 for half an hour and still win 3-0. Ian, do you want to take this one, mate?
Well, yeah. The red card actually helped Gillingham because Tranmere getting on top. They conceded a goal to a scuffed shot, really, that fooled the keeper just after half time, and then the red card happened. And of course, when you're going down to 10 men, the team that gets the benefit are going for it. Then they're going to think they can get a goal or two, but Gillingham just picked them off on the break. I mean, and that's brilliant. They're just brilliant tactics. I mean, a lot of the time it's very difficult to play 10 men.
Yeah.
Because because they make it difficult. They fill all the gaps so you can't get through them. So, but yeah, exceptional win for Gills, that, especially coming off that defeat at Doncaster. That's what they needed to do.
I think they tried to do similar at Donny, Ian. I think they kind of tried to soak us up a bit and hit us on the break, but I think we just basically did what Harrogate did to us and kept them at arm's length on that game and limited them to little to nothing, really. So, yeah, they've managed to kind of break Tranmere down and get the goals, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the way to bounce back.
Yeah. HID said, "Look at Argyle the other week, down to 9 whilst playing 13 and still got a point away at QPR."
I think it's some of the best games of football actually come when a team goes down.
Yeah. It is indeed. Neil, you're in the chat. I think we'll there's a couple of games remaining in League Two. 2-1 to Walsall, a late Danny Johnson winner. And yeah,
not clicking.
No, on the surface, it looks like it was a deserved 3 points for Walsall. Only 5 shots, 2 on target. Well. It just seems like
they're doing really well, Walsall.
Yeah, like Jake just said, it's just kind of not clicking. It just doesn't seem to be kind of. I don't know what it is with Bradford. I mean, Neil's come in saying that deserved at least a point. So I think maybe the shots at target are a bit deceiving on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't always go on.
Bradford are a really weird club. No disrespect, Neil. They just seem like sometimes they look like they're really up for it and they sign all the right players and then suddenly it tails off again. They're a little bit like say MK Dons have been in over the last couple of seasons, where you think they should be a lot better where they were and build on it. And when you think they're about to build, when they've had one good season, they then go down to having a really poor season. Like because they've had to do another like mini rebuild or something. Because you look at MK Dons that season, they got close to getting promoted. The next season, it all got dismantled. And I feel like Bradford seem to always be in that place where they just there and then it get dismantled again.
Yeah. I mean,
agree with that.
From Neil's chat, it seems like pretty much everything went against Bradford yesterday. Odo missed an open goal. He believes it wasn't a penalty that Alan put away. And then the two central defenders went off injured as well.
I'll describe it to you.
What's a penalty? Because we haven't had one since Michael Smith in the playoff semi-final. No, I'm serious. Our last penalty was in the semi-final versus Peterborough at Wednesday.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wow. So, like I said, what's a penalty?
Yeah. We'll touch on AFC Wimbledon and MK as well. We've got MK next weekend, and Jonathan wasn't happy in the chat. Said there was a lack of effort, lack of kind of any sort of desire to get at the game or get into them. 1-0 down. To be fair, MK hit the post, didn't they? In the second half, which could have changed the game. But then 2 late goals just kind of puts a bit of a polish on the scoreline, doesn't it? But
come on, for a derby.
Look at the possession stats in that. The possession, 74%.
Yeah.
And you can't ask for a better named player in that derby of all derbies to go the two equaliser and winner, can you really? Come on.
But I think poor start for MK, isn't it? We had them kind of up and in around the mix. That's where we predicted them, but
they have just had a takeover though, so January could be interesting.
But stuttering start to the season. We will see if that turns around. Any other games in League Two that you guys want to touch on before we move on to League One?
Just Barrow still doing bits. I mean, they have had an exceptionally good start to the season.
Yeah.
I mean, I was impressed with them last season because I thought they were just missed out on the playoffs. But I thought, they might go down a little bit. I think I had them. Can't remember whether I had them bottom half. I'm not sure, but they've started brilliant.
Yeah, I think we had them around the table.
And it looks like a deserved win as well.
Veselius play for Rotherham?
No, that's Kyle Vassell. He plays for Kilmarnock now in Scotland. Theo Vassell, I don't know if he's a family member or not, but
I can find out.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. So we'll have a quick look at the League Two table before moving on to League One. Morecambe and Accrington.
Shout out to Morecambe, they got a point.
They did. They scored more than one goal. Well, they scored a goal. They scored 3, but still managed to not win the game after scoring 3 goals, and it finished 3-3 in that one. So, Accrington and Morecambe still winless this season, making up the bottom 2. Carlisle struggling a little bit, but I'm sure that'll turn around with the quality that they've got in the squad. As you said, MK, poor start to their season. 2 wins, 4 defeats.
I know it's early doors, but could this be the season we have that little bit of sadness where Accrington Stanley are no longer a league club?
I hope not. I really don't. Not.
But I worry.
Yeah. It's not looking good for them, is it?
It doesn't look good for them. It doesn't look good for them.
I know it's early days and it's a really daft thing to say, but we've seen clubs at this day then really struggle to get it going.
Yeah, they do indeed. Port Vale,
they need a win badly.
Yeah, they do. Port Vale, couple of wins on the bounce after getting beat by Donny, have pulled them back into the playoff picture. Bradford, Doncaster, AFC Wimbledon, Walsall and Barrow Gillingham and Notts County make up the top half, and it's
Notts County the only unbeaten team.
Yeah,
Dan,
very good
question
start.
for you, Ronnie.
Go for it.
Do you think Grant got the mentality to get their heads back in it, considering they've had such a good run from last season to now, where they're a little bit of a blip like this? Could it turn some of the players' heads, or do you think there's a lot of the old guard like a Richard Wood will just go, we do what we do?
I think we'll be all right. We fell below standards at Newport earlier in the season, and bounced back with a couple of wins. Three wins on bounce after getting beat at Newport. So we've got MK next Saturday. Then we've got the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Then we've got Chesterfield and Barrow. So both at home.
That Chesterfield game will be brilliant. It'll be a really good watch.
But both at home. So I'd like to think we get 4 points from those two games. Possibly.
You can understand what I mean, though. When you've had a run like that, it's like mentally you've kind of so used to being on that high.
Yeah, I think he's got enough about him, and we've got enough in the squad to kind of chalk that up as just a bad day at office and move on to the next one. But
I'll be honest with you, if Grant McCann was coming at me and I've made a mistake or something, I'd be shit scared. He's a scary man when he gets angry.
Yeah, and like I said on our game, I think obviously Tom Anderson was singled out by a lot of fans, but I think collectively we just weren't good enough.
You win as a team, you lose as a team.
Exactly that. Lovely stuff. Moving on to League One, we'll start with Rotherham against Burton here. You went to this game? Talk us through it.
I think the overwhelming emotion walking out of the ground was frustration, really. It's another game that we should have won, and we should have won comfortably. But then again, we could easily have lost it in the last few minutes. I mean, credit to Burton, they came to play football. They didn't come to try and stop us playing and stop us scoring. They broke at pace. They took the lead on 25 minutes, were really poor defending, it was a scuff shot from the edge of the box that just reached Horsey, who was scoring goals for Bumper Crawley last season. He had enough time to control it and just place it, basically side foot it into the corner. Lovely finish, 1-0 Burton. And then we came back at them. Probably Christie, could have had a penalty for a challenge that the referee waved away, but we came back strongly. And a lovely through ball from ex-Burton player Joe Powell give Johnson Clark Harris a tap in. There was a bit of a question mark about offside, but the goal was given anyway. And half-time 1 apiece. And I'm thinking, from a Millers fan's point of view, it's set up for us to have a go at them in the second half and close the game out. And it started well. A corner came in, wasn't properly cleared. It was banging about the penalty area. And Cameron Humphreys, in his 3rd season with us, got his very first EFL goal. And it was just a tap in from a bit of a goal mouth melee. 2-1 up, you'd think, that sounds good. We can go on. We had a couple of chances to make it 3. Sam Nombe had a goal bound shot to more or less kicked off the line. We were going for it. Burton made a couple of attacking subs, and it ended up working for them. And it was a crossing from the left, and Cooper Love got the ball just on the edge of the box, shaped as though we're going to shoot. And I think, he worked it onto his right foot. Lovely shot from the edge of the box. I think our keeper, Dylan Phillips, was badly at fault with it. I think he should have saved it. He just creeped into the corner. I think it's time to give Cameron Dawson a run, because I don't think Dylan Phillips is the better of the two keepers that we've got. Anyway, the game moved on. It started getting really end-to-end. Both teams attacking, trying to go for the 3 points. I'll give Burton some credit, because they had 1 or 2 near squeaks when it was 2-2. But in the last second, I think it was the 7th, of 7 minutes added on, Malik Wilkes gets the ball on the right-hand side running at the defence. It looks like a shot was on. And if he'd have done what he did against Huddersfield, shot low and hard, he'd have scored and it would have been 3-2. But he went for the Hollywood ending and tried for the top corner, and it just whistled wide. So, yeah, frustrated. We got a point. It keeps our run going. Now we're unbeaten in 3. Another game we should have won, but another game we could quite easily have lost.
Yeah. John's
So,
asked about
Donovan.
Ramel Donovan. It did come on.
Yeah, he got on, John. He didn't get on for long, but he looked neat and tidy when he did come on. But I don't think it was. I don't think he was long enough for me to really appraise him fully.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did get on the pitch. So yeah, a bit of frustration. But on we go to Birmingham City next Saturday.
Just a small matter of Birmingham City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, any League One games?
Mansfield Town.
Mansfield.
Yeah.
Cracking result.
Doing well, aren't they? And what a goal! What a winning goal!
I think I've actually got somewhere on here from an old clip of it was David Stockdale talking about Lee Gregory. And he literally just said this. Lee Gregory doing an interview with the Radio Sheffield lot. And David Stockdale, who's now the Blythe Barton manager, well, good luck to him. Just walked past going like this. He scores goals. He scores goals. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I was one of these ones who were gutted when we let him go because I knew he could still do the business, but we never did it. But the thing is, for me, Mansfield Town look good, but they also look established in this league. They don't look like this is a bridge too far where some club come from League Two and it looks a little bit out of depth. They built a really good squad this year. Now, for me,
well, haven't they?
Cambridge still look like they're still trying to get to grips with what Monk's doing and trying to see what Gary Monk's doing. Now, granted, Gary Monk's been out of the game since he lost his job with us. So that's a long time out to like put new ideas into a team that over the last couple of seasons have been hit and miss. Like at one point, we all thought these were going to go flying because they had a certain Mullins playing for them, and then he left. And then they never replaced him really, because that's all they were. You get clubs who have strikers that are their entire embodiment with how many goals they score, because you'd forget about other people.
A bit like Jack Clark at Sunderland.
Yeah,
like Jack Clark. He was scoring all their goals at one time.
Yeah, it's a little bit like when you saw Charlton last season with Alfie May. Yeah. Or when May was at Cheltenham. Yeah. All you heard was every show we did, it was the Alfie May show when you spoke about him. You wouldn't speak about anyone else. Yeah. And I think if you got that kind of striker like they had and never replaced, you're always going to replace someone like Paul Mullin. Where Mansfield Town has actually gone to proven tested in League One, who just goes for fun.
Yeah.
And you can tell he is. And Mansfield Town just looked really good. Credit to Cambridge, they gave it a good go, though. Yeah. They were really in this game. 15-16, both shots, 6 and 5 possession. It looked like it was a really good game when you look at it. But I think for me, you've got to be... If they can get a finisher, those kind of games go to 2-2, maybe 3-2 to Cambridge. They just don't have that finisher yet.
Yeah, it's all very even goal, stats, isn't it?
Oh, it was a cracking goal.
Yeah. Yeah, good bit of quality to win it and well worthy of winning it.
And you also just remind me, I've got something new for the soundboard if Lee Gregory scored now, so I'm happy now.
I just wanted to touch on Huddersfield.
I think Ian Everett getting sacked.
I think he's on very thin ice, at least.
Well, apparently, Bolton's chief exec resigned after the game, which surprised me. I thought it would be Everett because the fans aren't happy at all.
No. Everett's a
Yeah.
weird one though, because he got a place on the board, hasn't he?
That's
I
it.
don't know. I think.
Yeah. Oh, do you not know about this?
No, didn't know about that.
Hang on.
There we go. But no, in this one, I think for me, the fourth goal just kind of sums up the day for Bolton. Trying to play
that
out
was
from the back
ridiculous,
and just
weren't it?
very, very poor.
Ridiculous.
And I mean, we've had a chat on our 72 review chat about people saying get it forward and football changing and playing it out from the back is kind of the way that it's done now. I think you still need to have that element of, if you're in danger, being able to just lump it and get it away from your goal. And they just didn't do that, did they? And it's just a real sloppy ball.
Laughable, isn't
It's
it?
just kind of
Laughable.
picked up by Evans and slotted away with ease. And yeah, really good result. Josh Karoma looking decent. Ben Wiles on the score sheet. Anthony Evans as well. And Huddersfield look like they're cooking, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, probably that result against us was a blip because they've been faultless apart from that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Bolton, I mean, for a team that were looking, I mean, they've done even worse than we have, and we haven't had a good start. So, and
Ian
I
Everett's
think
always
Bolton-
had an issue where, because of how nearly been at each time, the nearly
Yeah.
man, they've gone, we'll keep him a bit longer, we'll keep him a bit longer. And like one of the interesting quotes that came out this weekend, that it was Sam Allardyce saying, if Bolton need me, I'll come back.
Well, that
Yeah.
puts a bit of coal on the fire, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed.
If Sam Allardyce came back and did what he did back in the day, and then just did that resurgence, and the thing is, they're not far away, Bolton, from actually getting it right.
Yeah.
It's just mistakes. Like we've said it before, like there was a really good clip as Brighton manager De Zerbi saying that you actually, if you play it out from the back, it's less of a gamble than if you play it long. Because if you play it long, you're waiting for someone to get the knockdown, and then you've got to make sure that the second player's there.
Yeah.
But the difference is teams that play out from the back have done it from day one at 9 years old to their debut. That's why it works.
Natural. It's not natural for our footballers to do that, is it?
It will be in 10 years' time.
Yeah, it will.
Right now, it's not.
No.
And then we'll go back to hooping up long, and then they'll not know how to play that.
John's in the chat. He's saying Birmingham have got Wrexham, Rotherham, Huddersfield as their next three, and he's actually looking forward to it. So, yeah, I think
you've got it right there. I'm not looking forward to hosting Birmingham next Saturday. But having said that, we do traditionally tend to play better against the bigger teams.
Yeah.
It'll be a good following that as well.
Yeah. Brad's happy. Scored in every game. So yeah, something that Huddersfield struggled with last season. They've got it right this season, getting the scoring.
Again, Michael Duff, another manager that knows this league quite well. I think. Would you say it was a mistake when he left Barnsley to go to Swansea? Probably. Maybe he could have just done with just steadying the ship and done what he did. But at the end of the day, he's a very good League One manager. And here's the one for me: Blackpool 2-1. Steve Bruce with his first win.
Yeah.
And a name I didn't think I'd hear again in football, and especially in League One.
Yeah, I didn't.
Claxon as well for James Husband. But yeah, it's a good start for Bruce.
Brave header that. It was a brave header, weren't it? Yeah.
Also, I thought I'd give this one to ATID because I know how much he likes the other team.
He is very happy. Real day for injury time goals.
Chopping 8 injury time goals.
Another standout result for me in League One was probably Stevenage.
Very deep. That was superb.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barnsley started well this season. They've been cooking on gas, and Stevenage have done a number on that. Well,
you know what it is. You know what it is with Barnsley? It's that flaming pink kit they've got.
But no, great result for Stevenage. Any other League One games that you want to touch on before we move on to Championship?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Crawley for holding Stockport to a draw because that was a cool and buster if ever you saw one.
I will say, is Louis Barry just looking for a goal a game at this rate?
Yeah,
it's looking like it.
He was in my fantasy team, by the way, this week. Louis Barry.
Well, no, they were well in the game, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, even game.
Yeah, lovely stuff. So looking at the League One table, Cambridge and Burton are the two teams that are yet to win a game.
Bolton are.
Yeah, Bolton in the bottom four, along with Shrewsbury, Leyton Orient, and Cambridge.
Shout out again to Bolton, to Leyton Orient, first win of the season away at Reading. A good result.
Good result.
Very good result.
Yeah, that might just kind of springboard their season a little bit.
Yeah.
Rotherham, 17th of the minute. Thoughts on that, Ian?
Not where we want to be, obviously, but it's
early days.
It's slow build. It's a slow build. We're unbeaten in 3 now. We seem to be going along the right lines. If we could convert some of the XG into actual goals, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ian
we all know what my thoughts on Ian Evatt is, so I would not go there. I've said it many times on this show.
Best team in league. Big game tomorrow. Birmingham against Wrexham.
Real Birmingham against the Harlem Globetrotters.
I think that was very clever by Steve Evans. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of Evans at the time, but I did like that quote.
Yeah, Real Birmingham against the Harlem Globetrotters.
But both teams yet to taste defeat in the league. Along with Stockport.
It's the American derby.
It is.
Yeah.
It's gonna. I think it'll be an entertaining game to watch, though. It's two very good teams, isn't it? Charlton doing very, very well. Only one defeat so far this season.
Yeah.
Huddersfield looking good, and Lincoln as well in the top 6. So
I'm actually kind of happy to see Charlton doing well because I do like him as a manager. I just think he's always needed to get that Luton tag off his back.
Yeah,
and if he can do that with Charlton, then brilliant.
Yeah. John said that Beckham and Tom Cruise rumoured to be guests of Brady tomorrow.
I bet he's not at New York Stadium next Saturday.
ATID is happy because it is championship time, but we're going to start at Hillsborough, where there was 2 late goals.
It was an even game if you look at it, but I felt like we edged it slightly. This was the game where we had the performance that we haven't seen in such a long time. I haven't been on for a while. I've been, just done my head in. Just because our fans have got us predicted to be up here. I said mid-table. I think it brought a lot of fans back down to earth. We've had a lot of crap off some of the fans on Twitter because our fan base went mental, we're going to win it after the Plymouth game. I remember telling you guys after the Plymouth game, if we go against a team that press us, we're in trouble. Yeah. Sunderland, Leeds, what happened? 2 teams that press us, we got screwed. Millwall was the game where we just lost our heads and we just didn't do the right things right. Piss off, ATID. But the thing is, we had so many chances. I never said that. But the thing for me, we had so many chances again. And last season, I felt like we were that club that always make a lot of chances and then didn't manage to finish them. Like our XG last year was high, but we should have scored a lot more. And the thing is, for me, is does that whole thing of being up here where we were last season and just beating the drop, where Danny now changed the system a little bit. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not to change it completely from what worked last year. Maybe do it in stages, but it's his first full-time manager's job. He's never done a full season. So this is new. He's actually got his players in now. So it's going to be a big... it's going to be a big, reality check.
Yeah.
Barry Bannon goal, I won't lie, though, was incredible. Very clever skill.
Great finish.
It really was a good one. You saw our number 14 just fall to the ground and go, what was that? But then the equaliser, insane. We shouldn't have given the free kick away. Let's just call it what it is. We had a free kick that was not given against us, the other way on Masaba. The free kick was sloppy. Everybody knows if you beat Sheffield Wednesday, it's set pieces.
Yeah.
We cannot defend them. The initial save by Beadle was really good. I thought brilliant. But then he comes out to try and get the ball, misses it, then gets held to, it looked like he got held to the ground by the QPR lad while he was trying to get up. Any other day, ref sees that it's foul on the keeper.
Yeah.
Keepers are normally this ungodly protective species. You get blown by a gust of wind, you get a free kick. Not at Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. QPR got that, and it just shows you how much football can change in just a blink of an eye. We went from 93rd minute thinking we won it to then having that. A lot of people went away from this game, felt like it was a defeat. I felt like it was a defeat. But for me, we needed to stop the rot. We needed to stop it. We could have done with a clean sheet because we're not keeping them, and that's a worry for me. We need to keep clean sheets. But the problem is that teams know how to play us, and it's set pieces. We just got Ben King from Atkinson Stanley. He was their set piece analyst. He's coming in on Monday. Hopefully that helps a lot. But I'm taking each game as it comes. I don't want to get too high and I don't want to get too low because I know what happened last season and it's early days.
And that's kind of answered my question. John's saying, being honest, he worries about Wednesday this season. I was going to ask, are you worried about Wednesday this season? But you kind of just said that.
I am. I'm not. It's a lot of new players that need to gel. When we last had a lot of new players that needed to gel, it was the Carlos season, and we went on a really good run. We normally don't start well in start of season. We've never been that team that really has a good start. We always come good around February time or November time. Now, for me, you can't write Danny off a little bit because of what he did last season. There are people in our fan base that are saying he should be sacked, and I don't agree. Because it's knee-jerk. Because at the end of the day, the lad last year came in when we were 13 points adrift and showed what he can do. He got to get that level from him again and higher.
Yeah.
We've made some good signings, but I'd be more worried come December if we're still knocking around it. And if it is the case, you need to change it up a little bit to what worked last season and go, this just doesn't work. Go back to plan B. But I think Danny deserves to be given time. And if you actually want to say something, saying you're worried about Wednesday, we're on more points than we were last season at this point. So I'm happy.
So he said the worry I have with Wednesday last season was a free hit. Playing with no pressure. This season sounds like expectations are quite unrealistic from some fans, maybe.
I think it's a bit of an expectation from some fans, but it doesn't help when your captain Barry Bannon goes, I think we can go up and get playoffs. in a talk sport interview. And it's like, if that's what you're thinking inside as a group, then great, keep it to your sense.
Yeah.
Don't give up. We've already got an owner who promised us the world and gave us 2 relegations, a financial fair play, and some golden elephants.
When you get Bannon making comments like that, it's almost writing the other team's flaming pre-match for them.
Exactly. It's doing an Ian Everett.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. Cracking result for Plymouth. We've got to go there.
Yeah. We'll go here now because Atiadi, where has this put it? So he said, where do I begin from our game? John the Mac and Brooks is a fraud of a ref. Softest penalty I've ever seen for Sunderland 1-0. Then out of nowhere, we were 2-1 up. The 17-year-old for them was dirty and should have saw red. But Karma hit him as his equaliser, and suplex on the eventual winning goal scorer meant nothing. Typical Argyle, lose to Dross, and then beat the best. It's mental. Some limbs, though, ended up 2 rows down with bruised leg again. I absolutely adore Joe Edwards. So a decent.
That's what it's all about, passion.
Yeah, that's it.
Get the monkey off Rooney back as well.
Yeah, but
because they'll need that.
They looked good value for the win against a very good Sunderland team. I think Sunderland could have made it the best ever start. I think I heard that on the EFL show that they never won 5 games in a row at the start of a season. I think they'd matched a 99-year record, getting four on the bounce. So yeah, fantastic start for Sunderland, and you've got to put a decent effort in to come away with 3 points against them, and match them, and came away with the 3 points, and it was a ridiculously soft penalty.
I'm just going to call it Wayne Rooney going a free kick during that charity game. He brought back some of his magic again.
Decent free kick as well.
It was a good free kick, actually. You know what really annoyed me in that game, though? Because I watched it, because I've got a mate who's a Man U fan, so I just watched it with him. I thought, you're looking at all these players and they still can do it. You look at Rooney, he just doesn't look like he's a footballer. He looks like he won a competition.
Yeah. Yeah, he's there.
But then again, he would never a player that was athletic.
No.
Crazy.
But the penalty that Sunderland got, for me, I think he's tricked the ref, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Proper fooled him. I don't think there was.
To be fair, that's what Robertson could have, though.
Say again, sorry.
It's what they're good at. They're good at that.
Yeah.
They are good at that. Like, and I know Patrick Roberts didn't get a penalty, but Patrick Roberts does that a lot in games. If you actually watch Sunderland, a little bit of a breath of fresh air on him, go down.
Yeah.
They had that in their style of play, which we all hate it, but when it's in your squad, you kind of go, it happens.
Yeah, it's just part of football.
Yeah.
It's a bit like us with Jordan Hugill. We call him the cow, not because we don't like him. It's just the amount of grass he eats during a game.
Yeah. Good win for Oxford.
Oh, excellent.
Cracking win for Oxford. They are looking like a bit of a team that don't look like they come up from League One. They look like they're settled already. And for them, that's brilliant. And you want that. But bit worried for Stoke. They haven't looked great in games. I think some of the games they've been okay. I don't think they've been brilliant in most. I think Stoke is a weird one where he got to get it right, or they'll be looking at another manager. Like,
it's been a weird team for a couple of seasons, haven't they?
I was going to say lower mid-table. I say Stoke. I don't think they'll be ever in any relegation trouble, but they're not going to pull any trees up either.
See, I'd be so bored as a fan of any club like that. Not just Stoke. Any club that is kind of mid to low end table. Never
Bristol City,
never fighting relegation.
Preston, Stoke. They're all this mid-table. But again, though, hey, Mackie Cafe, how you doing, mate? The issue I got is we're all support teams who have been up and down, up and down. We all, every season, we all ask for a mid-table finish, and we never take it.
I'd kill for the mid-table.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
If we had like 3 seasons, all 3 of us, our club getting mid-table, no relegation or no promotion, we'd be happy as Larry because we're not having to stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Another good result that I noticed this weekend was Blackburn, Bristol.
They're doing brilliant, aren't they? John Eustace has got them playing.
And it was one of those, we questioned how Blackburn had fare with Smodics leaving. And I think they've answered everybody's question, haven't they? Yeah, exactly. And if anything, it seems to have allowed other players that were maybe under or in his shadow a little bit to come out and express themselves. And I don't know if they've changed the style of play and everything was suited towards Sammy or not. It seems to be working, doesn't it?
That changed. I think a lot of stuff behind the scenes had changed. So they've got a different director of football. They got someone else in. I think you've seen it at Donny. When things behind the scenes change and it's for the better, it's better on the pitch.
Yeah.
A couple of seasons ago, you wouldn't expect your director of football, Grant McCann, and all that lot being in the sea at fucking Morecambe.
No.
they'd be killing each other on the car park after like kind of thing. I think when things change behind the scenes at clubs, it can make it better. Blackburn are a weird club. You never know what's going on with the financials.
Yeah.
Because
John said, please for Eustace, but again, bonkers owners probably get sacked and then they'll drop to 6th.
Yeah. That is literally.
Is he Japanese, that guy that scored the 2 worldies?
Yes.
Yeah.
What finishes they were as well.
Also, you notice how we're getting more the Asian market coming into the EFL. It's interesting.
Yeah. And I think it improves it.
Quite a few scored this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Ian, any games that you want to touch on, mate?
Can we just talk about Derby County's miss?
Thank
I don't
you.
want to talk about the game. I don't want the miss.
That is the miss of the century.
I'm glad me and you were on the same wavelength there, Ian.
Yeah. Oh dear. I mean, you see these well-publicised misses that's gone through the generations, but there's none worse than that. That is absolutely abysmal. It's as though he meant to miss.
I think it's, for me, the only one that can come close to it was Carnu myth at West Brom, where it was an open net and he guided it over the bar.
Yeah. I mean, this one, he's just got all the time in the world, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He could have sat down and had a sandwich.
Do you reckon it's one of those things that the nerves have got to him because it's his former club he's about to go against and he's just gone, all right, I'm going to be the anti-hero here, and then just gone, oh, shit.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, just got into his own head a bit. But luckily for him, it didn't impact the result.
No. I mean, Derby
they looked okay.
They started very strong at home. They're not the same beast away from home, but they've started it
Fair enough.
Is it 3 out of 3 at home that Derby have won?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, 3-0, 1-0.
Yeah.
That is a good start, that.
It is.
Really good start.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, if they could improve their away, but having said that, just promoted, that's a strong start. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Mac and Cabby said, I think the top 2 will be Sheffield United and Burnley, West Brom to win the playoffs.
I can see that.
Yeah, Sheffield United are doing all right. I mean, Friday night football beating Hull 2-0.
Wasn't it a great game?
No.
No, it wasn't. But having said that, I would say what a pickup Callum O'Hare has been from Coventry.
Yeah.
Superb little player, him. Got a low centre of gravity. He can run all day.
I worry for Hull.
Yeah.
I just have a funny feeling replacing Rossini isn't been the best idea that they could ever have done.
They didn't look great pre-season against Donny. Looked like they're lacking squad depth, and I think in Championship with the schedule that you've got in that division, I think you're going to struggle if you've not got options off the bench.
I think me and Jake can sort of like agree that the Championship, once you start losing, it's quite brutal.
Yeah. Once the rot sets in, it's very difficult to get out of it.
It is.
Leeds look I don't know what's going on at Leeds. Like, genuinely, with the squad they got,
the quality
and the quality, this just. I've found a couple of like fan channels of theirs, and it's interesting watching them because they had all this like expectation that we're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to have that situation where it's Leeds of old, where they're going to stay in the Championship for a couple of seasons while it sticks.
They'll be up there. They'll be challenging. But people forget that Burnley are a very, very good side.
And also, Scott Parker loves himself.
Yeah. They're a bit of off-field issues though at Burnley, weren't they? I think they lost a couple of players, sold a few players.
Yeah,
arguments with Scott Parker apparently. I don't know how true they are, but
we'll have to get Dan on.
Yeah. We're not normally seen in the same room together.
No, so we'll just put Mac over one of you. The thing is with Leeds, and it was very much said about Farker at Norwich. has he got that ability to change it?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
does
doesn't seem
seem
to
to.
be a plan B, does there?
Or like how many times when we spoke about Norwich last couple of seasons when he was there, it's like he's not made sub quick enough,
Mm.
and he does this at Leeds a little
Yeah.
bit, and just I don't know. It's one of those ones. Whoever they bring in, it'll be fantastic, but they'll have to hit the ground running.
But what a job that is, Leeds United head coach. The responsibility and the expectations, idiotic in it up there.
Yeah.
You never know. Steve Evans might want another punt at it.
Actually, he didn't do so bad at Leeds.
He
I
wasn't
don't
bad
think.
actually at Leeds.
But like John said, problem with Leeds have sold goals and
Yeah.
they've not replaced them yet. Simple as that,
I
isn't it?
don't think the lad that they managed to keep, Nonsad, I think he got mini injuries or something. I think I read somewhere about injuries he was having. Did he play?
Let's have a look. He did.
He did, yeah. It just like that. Zach Fleming was a cracking pickup by Burnley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, from Millwall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. Ian, any games before we have a look at the table and then have a look at the EFL fantasy?
Well, can you go up a bit, Dan?
Of course, I can.
Yeah. Shout out to Luton for getting off the mark. And it's a place where it's really difficult to win, Millwall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relatively even
I
game.
mean, I thought Luton, once they get started, they'll be okay, and I still think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I think they'll only just be okay. I think they'll be mid-table. I don't think they're strong enough to go to the top echelons, if you like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think they should do what some teams who have gone up have the 3 seasons of parachute payments, invest your parachute payments into your infrastructure, get an academy of players that are able to come through, get your stadium sorted, and then try again.
Yeah.
Are they having a new one built?
Yes.
It's in pipeline, isn't it?
It's in the pipeline. Looks way too nice for Luton.
Mm.
No offense, Walsh, if you're watching.
Moving on to the championship table, we've got Cardiff, Portsmouth, and Hull yet to get off the mark with wins. All drawn a game, or 3 if you're Hull and Portsmouth. But yeah, they'll be wanting to get that win sooner rather than later, won't they? Just to kind of get moving a little bit.
We're saying before we went on air, I sort of fear for Pompey a little bit because they seem to have been starting to get found out a little bit.
Yeah. Teetering just above the bottom 3, we've got Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, Luton, and Millwall. Lots of football to be played yet, though, isn't there?
Our next couple of games, though, are difficult. It's Luton, Burnley, Coventry. I think Bristol's in there somewhere. West Brom. It's.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Amazing.
I hate football for the next couple of weeks. If something doesn't happen, let's put it that way, lads.
John said that he's read this morning that Cardiff manager's on the brink, which doesn't surprise me looking at the position that they're in.
They had a falling out during the summer as well, didn't they?
Do you know what I'd do? I mean, I've got a lot of sympathy for EFL managers that get sacked after 3 or 4 matches. I think there should be an EFL rule put into place that a manager can only be sacked after 10 games plus.
I like the rule. I like the rule, Ian. You didn't watch Sicko last season.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, but having said that, it didn't improve straight away, did it?
No.
Yeah.
I think there should be transfer windows for managers.
I said this for years. I think there should be a transfer window for manager. I think it'd be amazing.
Just throw a cat amongst pigeons. There you go.
You just imagine it. Like Donny Rovers has announced Jose fucking Mourinho. You have to have like a one weird transfer and big money one, and they've got to sign for X amount for free, but they can only do a season.
You wouldn't swap Grant McCann for Mourinho, would you, Dad?
No.
No.
Don't even need to think about it. Not at all. Moving to the top end of the table, we've got West Brom yet to get beat.
They're looking good, then. West Brom are looking good.
Got them after Luton.
HID, yeah, West Brom, Luton, Burnley. They're next.
Oh,
three.
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
Ouch.
ATID, if we both are in the same position, I think we'll be having the same drinks.
John said that it's a mad idea, Ian. You pay millions of your money, you can do what you like.
Yeah,
Which is
fair
fair
enough.
enough. And
Yeah.
Neil, my joke's going over everyone's head.
What joke?
Joke. This one?
Oh,
That
looks
was
like the
it
bubble.
again.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
get it. Yeah.
not reading the comments.
We got
I
it
should be-
now. It was
should
still
be
not
on
very good.
Sunderland in second, even after the defeat this weekend. And then the playoffs: Blackburn yet to be beaten, Burnley, Watford, and Sheffield United yet to be beaten. But obviously, they had the 2-point deduction
Draws.
from
Mm,
unpaid transfer fees, I think it was.
yes.
So yeah, Sheffield United be up and in around this. So yeah, decent start for Sheffield
Look at
United.
Oxford, though. 7.
Yeah.
Derby.
Oxford and Derby.
Yeah, 2 teams that have been promoted.
Oxford, Derby, Watford. I don't think anyone
Yeah.
thought Watford would be up there.
No,
Do you want an interesting one for next week?
go for
He
it.
won't, right, Jack won't be able to be on the show next week, right?
Yep.
But I've got an interesting one for you. Jack going on holiday next week with Walsh. Jackie going to the Luton Wednesday game with Walsh.
Oh dear. We'll have to get him on. We will have to definitely get him on.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the fantasy EFL table. If you're not included or not joined,
I haven't done this.
yet,
I just didn't have a chance.
shocker. You can still join now. So it is the 72 review league. If you just,
Adam's still in front.
he is indeed. Let me just move
Lad,
this
do me a
out of the way.
favor.
There we
Send
go.
me a message. Send me a message on one of the days next week in the chat to remind me, and I'll try and make one.
I'm not sure how points work if you join later on. But yeah,
I'll just put myself a bot and I'll relegate myself. It's fine.
so it is the 72 review league. Search that, request to join, and Ian will sort you out. There's 22 in there at the minute. AFC Willow currently bottom on 174 points. I'm not too far ahead in 18th, although I have leapfrogged my nephew, which is always nice. So I will be messaging him later.
Yeah.
Jonathan Harris moved up to 12th, so he's a big mover. Moved up 3.
I've gone down 1. I've gone
Hold
down 1.
Lodo the Wednesday doing all right.
Yeah, Lolo's doing okay. And then top 4, drum and bass, Liam's EFL Fantasy. And then we've got Around the Grounds, who's keeping hold of Adam at the minute. But Adam was top of the entire thing, of the full country or world doing it. It was first overall. So, yeah, he clearly knows his EFL football. So we need to
I'm the
try
same
and
with
knock him
ATID.
off of this perch.
ATID, me and ATID on the same wavelength there.
There is that.
Well, the thing is with the fantasy EFL, you can change your team every week.
Yeah, but I forget to do
So
that. I forget to pick my lineup for sodding fan hub. If I've got to do something for this, I'm going to be screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
far too much to do. Sometimes I'll leave kind of the Premier League fantasy one. I always forget to make transfers and stuff. I think with this one,
The number of times I've turned up at stadiums and forgot to check in with Footballogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just forget. Don't you?
There's just too much checking in, do this team, do that. The one thing I religiously do every season, I get a copy of the FIFA, now EAFC, and I play it to death.
Yeah.
Next Friday, I will be doing the same thing. I've already pre-ordered it. My wife is doing the school run. Literally, she's doing both pick up and drop off. I am doing nothing all day and sitting right here with a beer, drinking all day. I'm playing the game today because I am going to just hammer it.
But the thing is, though, we
Sad
FIFA
life,
for
I
the
know.
last few years. For the last few years, the only thing that's changed in it are the up-to-date kits.
Yeah, well,
Gameplay is hardly ever
the
altered.
gameplay's not changed. Nothing really ever changes in that game. And each
No.
year you get people who do it. I'm never buying this again, and they buy it again. But here's the thing: I probably get the most out of that game for the whole year.
Yeah.
Like if one of the games where I get the most enjoyment out of it, I play it, I can just pick it
Have
up.
you ever
from
done
it.
a full season in manager mode in a day?
Yep.
Yeah.
I started at midnight when it came out, and I think I finished at 6 p.m. in the same day.
God, your eyes.
Yeah.
My eyes, my heart, my lackers being able to get it back into the house.
Rather you than me. I will probably be getting it though at the same time.
Oh yeah, you won a PS5, didn't you? I forgot about that.
I did, yeah. Yeah, so I'll be getting it on there. Well, no, that brings us to the end of episode 76 of the 72 review. It's been an okay week, obviously. Defeat, couple of draws.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had a week where we've all won for a long, long time. So hopefully
No.
one comes
If
around the
ever.
corner soon.
We had a couple, like I think it was a couple last season where we all won.
Yeah.
Well, we only won 5 league games last season, so it must have been one of them games. Yeah.
I think for me it's just the whole thing where my situation with Wednesday is like I'm just seeing what happens because I don't know what's gonna happen. I've got a mental owner. Okay, we keep being real.
That's for ATID.
Yeah.
El
El Cachico.
I like that.
And Neil said, absolutely superb therapy, lads. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you very much. But yeah, final words. Round it off, Jake. You were saying about your relationship with Sheffield Wednesday.
My relationship with Sheffield Wednesday is an ongoing depression cycle of we're great, we're crap, we're great, we're crap. And then I have my little one go, why do you support football? I'm like, I have no idea, darling. Let me go try and support something like watching paint dry. I'll probably enjoy it a bit more. But we do it because we love our clubs. We've been, for whatever reason, our family has indoctrinated a lot of us into what club we support. And the thing is, football has this really stupid way of getting to know people. I didn't know Dan until I did a show called the Football Vlogger Podcast. Yeah. We've gone on to be really good mates. I didn't know Ian until Dan got you on here. There's so many different aspects where you meet new people, they become friends, you talk about football. Yeah, we've had our disagreements in our private Twitter chats, and I have been a grumpy bastard. I understand that. I think I'm getting to Ian's level of old and I'm enjoying it. I'm just waiting for someone to say, get off my garden kind of level. But at the end of the day, we do this because we love what we do. We love our clubs. And the thing
I'm a big believer in saying that you don't pick your football club picks you.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And it's not like a marriage. You can't get out of it. It's for life.
Yeah. And to be fair, there was a lad I went to school with who all through his school, he was a Man United fan. He's now a Liverpool fan.
Oh God. That's almost as bad as when people ask you who your favourite Premier League team is. I haven't freaking got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have soft spots for clubs. I've soft spots for several clubs, but I can't support more than one team. Maybe it's a personal thing. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway,
I don't think I can really add anything to that.
Brilliant therapy session as always, and thank you guys for the.
We'll let Dan go because we think the trapdoor's just about to go behind him.
I know it's open and closed. I think it's time to make some snap for work and stuff. So we will round it off. But no, I don't think there's anything that I can add to that. I think you follow your club through thick and thin. Ian said it previously that supporting through the bad times, it makes a good so much better. And
he's the Rotherham fan, so he's had a lot of bad times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Jake, I completely agree with you, mate.
I remember
I hope each and every one of you
in your buckets.
I hope each and every one of you has a really good week and enjoy everything that you do throughout it. If you're watching this on a repeat throughout the week, stick big thumbs up on it, comments in the section down below. Subscribe to each and everybody who's in the description down below as well. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
See ya.